Cominciamo?
Sì.
Hello, good morning everybody, and thank you to be here to this wonderful event of MedFest. Just they are asking me to wait for a few seconds and we start.
Il panel esplora come l'innovazione tecnologica stia trasformando il turismo e l'attrattività dei territori con un focus su digitalizzazione, sostenibilità e valorizzazione culturale. Esperti internazionali e istituzionali si confronteranno su casi concreti e prospettive da Italia, Turchia, Messico ed Emirati Arabi, mettendo a confronto il ruolo del settore pubblico chiamato a guidare strategie, infrastrutture e tutela del patrimonio con quello del privato, motore di creatività, investimenti e modelli di business scalabili. L'obiettivo è delineare modelli collaborativi che rendano il turismo autentico, competitivo e inclusivo, creando valore per comunità locali, imprese e viaggiatori.
Hello and welcome everybody to this wonderful event of MedFest. I want to say thank you for all the guests that are here today that are from many nationalities. We have starting from Gino Domenici from Mexico, we have Marie Curie that represent the USA, we have a delegation from Italy from 3P and Alessandro Onorato from Costa Cruise, we have our Consul General of Cujadagi, Honorary Consul of Italy, and we have the Vice Mayor of Izmir with the delegation of the culture, and as you can see in the graphic, and we have the architect Matteo Gatto. Thank you everyone to be here. I'm very pleased to moderate this wonderful panel about innovation and sustainability, but before starting, we do have a wonderful video coming from our Minister of Tourism, Daniela Santanché. Please.
Buongiorno a tutti, mi scuso per non essere con voi presente fisicamente, ma come saprete noi stiamo prossimi a ospitare tutti gli stakeholder più importanti del mondo per il Global Summit WTTC, un evento che non è mai stato fatto in Italia ed è la prima volta che lo portiamo nella nostra capitale. Quindi vi chiedo ancora scusa per questo, ma non volevo farvi mancare il mio saluto, la mia partecipazione e il mio in bocca al lupo per i vostri lavori. Sono molto contenta che il MedFest venga organizzato proprio durante la giornata mondiale del turismo, perché questo è un momento importante per celebrare il turismo, che è molto importante per la ricchezza della nostra nazione. Quindi andiamo avanti, è importante che ci sia una grande squadra e voi ne fate parte, perché dobbiamo continuare a far prosperare questo settore, perché in questo settore molti giovani potranno trovare la loro occupazione. Ancora buon lavoro e buona giornata.
So, thank you everyone, and I want to start immediately with an important figure of the big events and about sustainability. Without this kind of professionalities, we cannot talk, I cannot be here to talk with you, because the presence of the architect Gatto, one of the major exponents of architecture in Italy about the big events, he took care about Expo Milano 2015, he worked with me, I did have the pleasure to work with him as associated in Expo Dubai 2020, cooperating on Osaka 2025, and now his new adventure is Expo 2030. Besides this, he took care about Matera, capital of the culture. I'm just mentioning it not because I want to be flattering with him, but because to let you understand the big importance that 5, 6, 7 years ahead, someone is projecting the future. And Mr. Gatto now will give us an answer to the question that I want to do. What about the sustainability in this work? And now the experience can get digital innovation inside of the big events, especially throughout the project that architects and your company and the many companies that are working are facing for the future.
Well, thank you very much for your invitation. I'm very glad to be here, and thank you to be present in the audience. First of all, we have to talk about tourism and digital innovation and sustainability, but I think that tourism is above all an encounter with identities and culture. And digital innovation, when used wisely, because we can use badly, but when used wisely, it can strengthen this encounter between identity and cultures, different cultures, and the idea of the MedFest, I think, is the right idea to focus on the Mediterranean area, having and discovering and exploring the role of the Mediterranean country in the future of the world. So we are saying that digital innovation can strengthen this encounter between identities and culture. And major events, that are my experience, because I work, as Alessandro said before, in very, very big events like Olympics, like Expos, provide an extraordinary testing ground for this element of digital innovation. Immersive installation, augmented experiences, digital platform allow in the big events visitors to discover traditions in a new, engaging ways. So what I think is that also, without losing their traditions, and so I think that also in the tourism sector, digital innovation could be a very powerful tool to attract, to engage, to give experience, because now the tourist people are looking much more anytime to make an experience when they travel. Is not only to see places, to discover, but to have experiences. So what I think is that we can have a very big opportunity in involve new digital innovation in the touristic sectors, learning from the experience of the big events. The key is to balance technology that should never overshadow the real physical world and the real experience, what you can touch, you can taste, the genius loci, so the identity of the place and their tradition.
Thank you, Matteo. I would say that now I leave the stage to Marco Albertini, that is the representative of 3P, is really an innovation inside of the face of the world of tourism, because since in the past year they are making digital innovation and investing inside of the territories with them, and especially with persons that are working inside. We did have the chance to work several times and to explore the development of several countries, giving them the possibility to become part of the visit. Of course, all of you that you are mastering tourism are visiting the main places like Milano, Roma, Florence, and many other places, but we have jewels all over Italy, and the company of the guys is, of course, discovering inside of the territories the authenticity, bringing them to an upper level. So I want to say thank you, Marco, to be here, and I wanted to ask you what are the objective, the focus of the company, and how do you work in Italy and eventually even abroad.
Thank you, grazie. Italia è una società che nasce... Grazie. Mi sentite bene? Sì?
Yes.
Bentrovati, buongiorno a tutti. Grazie al MedFest dell'organizzazione e grazie a voi di essere qui. Italia è una società che nasce da due grandi realtà. Una è EasyGov Solution, che opera da oltre 20 anni nella pubblica amministrazione, parte dal locale, è una realtà che nasce dal Politecnico di Milano, da un gruppo di ricercatori, e che pian piano ha trovato poi nell'altra componente che costituisce Italia, che è una smart telco e Tiscali, un'organizzazione con un ingente capitale che ci consente di estendere quello che è stato sviluppato nel Politecnico di Milano su una scala più grande in tutta Italia. Oggi insomma abbiamo consolidato diverse esperienze a livello sovraterritoriale di coinvolgimento di attori pubblici e privati. Il nostro focus è il partenariato pubblico-privato, che è un modello con cui noi cerchiamo di trovare la giusta sinergia tra quello che è l'equilibrio e il controllo che il pubblico può dare, la vision pubblica, la mission istituzionale, e la capacità di un privato di poter mettere investimenti, creatività, innovazione nel duo che si viene a creare. In questo modello noi riusciamo a tradurre quelle che sono le esigenze turistiche anche dei piccoli comuni, laddove invece in generale si fa molta più fatica a coinvolgere, no? E ad attrarre nel mondo del turismo.
Thank you, Marco. We're going to go back to you later on, and now I want to pass the word to Mr. Murat, in order that, as a representative of of course, of Italian state, because it's our consul, honorary consul in Kusadagi. He brought with us some guests from Izmir. And so I wanted to ask you how the institutions are looking to the transformation of the city with a big touristic event, or not only touristic, but cultural ones and so forth, how it will be the transformation of a city after a big event or during a big event.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for organization. Mediterraneo MedFest is a very important event. Actually, I feel myself very comfortable. I feel like home with the olive oil and the smell of the sea, salty sea, and the blue is hypnotizing us. This is bringing us all together. Thank you very much for this event. I want to start with these words to everyone to help for this organization. Well, Turkey is a very big country with 80 million, 85 million population. And if you think about the destinations of to Turkey, we can talk about 3 destinations. I'm talking about the cultural destinations, not sea, sand, and sun destinations like Antalya. It's something different. But we have to think about 3 destinations. One is Istanbul, one is Cappadocia, and one is Izmir and Kuşadası, as you've seen with the cruise ships. Izmir is very important since 150 years was a first port of the Turkey as a trade and the tourism. And now with Kuşadası and Izmir, they are together more than 1.5 million tourists are coming yearly. And Izmir is the port for the exportation, and a lot of products are there. And we have a fair, international fair, in the end of August is taking place, and for 10-15 days, and all the local and international companies are coming, and they're showing their products and their innovations and the other things. And this way, the municipality of Izmir and the Konak municipality are very important role there. They have a very important role. We have a vice mayor, deputy mayor of Izmir, Konak, and the cultural heritage, the director of the cultural heritage with us. I think they can explain
Absolutely.
how it's going to work. And Italy and Turkey and whole Mediterranean areas are making one fraternity. It's so nice. I will leave the words to Miss like a vice moderator.
Tamam. Teşekkür ederim. Öncelikle adım Naime Beyazıt. Konak Belediyesi Başkan Yardımcısıyım ve mimarım.
Okay, thank you very much. Her name is Naime Beyazıt, Vice Mayor of İzmir Konak, and architect.
Konak İzmir'in merkezinde, kalbinde yer alıyor. Hem çok büyük iş merkezleri, hem çok büyük ticaret merkezleri, kamu kurumu yapıları ve bunun yanı sıra Türkiye'deki en büyük 3. liman olan İzmir Limanı da Konak ilçesi sınırlarında yer alıyor.
Okay. Konak municipality is in the center and the heart of the city with a lot of state buildings, lot of business centers, and in the center we have the port, the biggest port of the Turkey, and the third port is in Turkey, but the biggest port of the region is in our territory, in our hinterland.
Konak'ta modern yapıların yanı sıra Levanten, Osmanlı dönemi ve hatta Agora gibi de antik dönem eserlerini de bir arada görebiliyoruz. Bu nedenle hem de eğlence merkezi, kültür merkezi olması nedeniyle İzmir'in her gün konağa nüfusu 350 bin olmasına rağmen 1,5 milyon insanın gelip geçtiği bir yer haline gelmekte. Kordon, tamam.
Konak is in the city center, as we said. We can see the modern buildings with big condominiums, but from the other hand side, we have a cultural heritage like Levantines. It's very important, I guess, if we are in the Medwest, and Ottomans, and the Romans also. We have a lot of buildings, and for example, the Agora is 5,000 years old, and it's just on the city center. And still we have is in the UNESCO list is Kemeraltı, is the bazaar of Izmir. And normally the population of Izmir, of Konak, is 350,000. Izmir population of Izmir is 3 million, but the Konak is 350,000. But with the daily circle is 1.5 million.
Bu avantajların yanı sıra tabii ki nüfusun 350 bin olması ve bütün kaynakların bu nüfusa göre verilmesi nedeniyle de 1,5 milyon insana hizmet vermekte ciddi belediye olarak zorluklar yaşamaktayız. Ama hem kent manzarasını hem çok şahane gün batımını seyredebileceğimiz pek çok ziyaret noktası, gezi noktası söz konusu. Kordon gibi, asansör gibi, Kadife Kale gibi. O nedenle de pek çok kişi buralarda bir araya gelmekte. Teşekkür ederim. Söyleyeceklerim bu kadar.
We have a 350,000 population, but we are serving for 1.5 million people. It's not so easy to finance this and the budget to find the budget this, but we are working on it. It's not so easy, but we are working on it. The sunset in Izmir is very, very nice because you see the sun go down on the sea. Is a rare thing in Kuşadası, and Izmir is like that. And we have many touristical areas to come and visit this, you can see this, and we are inviting you, and thank you very much for your...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. And I think that we shall give the word especially to Mr. Kaplan in order that he can send us some videos that he brought with us and to explain us a little bit more how you think to guest several events that you are planning to have in the future and keep this kind of sustainability after that we listen the largest number that are enforcing over your city.
Thank you very much. If you can start my video.
The video will start immediately.
I can start my presentation. I'm Çağlayan Deniz Kaplan. I'm conservation architect and a tourist guide. And today, first of all, I appreciate you to invite us here. Izmir is located on the Aegean part of western part of Turkey. It's third largest city and on the Greek border. Throughout the history, it acted as a trade center of almost whole Asia, we can say. It's a gate opening to Europe. And we have some UNESCO heritage sites, two of them in permanent, this Pergamon and Ephesus. It's going too fast. Also, we have castles, natural beauty. It's too fast. I can tell. Here we can see the center of Izmir, Konak. It's not just administrative center, but social and cultural center of the Izmir. And also we have port that cruise ships are landed here, and we have direct transportation from both airport, by sea, and by subway, etc., by public buses here, so easily accessible area, and very historic place, we can say.
We can move forward.
Yeah.
Before was too fast, now we can go regular.
Sorry.
Okay.
And the history of the city dates back 8,500 years before now. But in Konak, the settlement started in Hellenistic period with the order of Alexander the Great, and it's coming today without no interrupt. And we have many cultural layers starting from thousands of years. And In Ottoman period, almost Izmir was the meeting point of whole Mediterranean people to make trade and to buy the products of almost whole Asia and to take them to Europe. And we have many cultural layers starting from that period in Izmir, and we can see them, we can experience them in Izmir, in Konak also.
Yeah, we can follow on.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile that you are talking, I want you to focus especially on the theme of sustainability, as we speak before. How during the years you increased your sustainability.
At the
because
beginning,
of
I wanted to say something, but
yeah, sure.
just
Please, let's move
across
the
the
other
history.
slide.
So today I will focus on what we are doing about digitalization. I will focus on this. This map shows the historic areas in the city center. We have many historic areas. We have more than 1,700 historic buildings, listed buildings of many different cultures. Here in the map is our UNESCO heritage site. We have the biggest open air bazaar of the world in Izmir. It's an open air bazaar. And yeah, we can see some images. We have a Jewish quarter. 9 synagogues are together. These are the synagogues of different cultures: Portuguese, Spanish, and other Mediterranean world. We can see the general, and we have very distinctive examples of mosques and synagogues, especially, and churches of different cultures in Izmir, and we can experience also traditional shopping culture in Izmir very well. Here we can see some of these cultural heritage buildings. It was a trade center, so we have many Hans and caravan routes in Izmir, and based on trade buildings, we have many historic buildings and sites. Yeah. Also, not only tangible heritage, we have many intangible heritage things to do based on gastronomy and festivals also. Last week we celebrated the festival of Afro-Turks in Konak, for example. Yeah, we can pass.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
move forward.
Yeah, until morning till late at night. Every time you can find something to do in Konak. Konak never sleeps. Culturally, socially, and you can do many things in Konak.
Great. I have
Yeah.
a question for you. How did you digitalize all this heritage inside of your capacity to the tourism? Because I know that you have so many million contacts
Yeah.
per year. How
Yeah.
do you promote in the level of digital and sustainability? Because of course
Yeah.
we all know about the beauty
Yeah.
of the tourism in Izmir, but I want to focus on this because afterwards I need to give
Yeah.
the word to the other participants.
I have now with the municipality of Bremen, we started to make digital twin of the city center. It stopped, but we can see from sea now. We are looking through Konak, the city center, and starting from Alsancak Point, where the harbor is located, we started to make digital twin of the city, not only to document, but also to monitor our possible implementations, etc., the density of the tourists, and rehabilitation of the historic cities also. Now we are looking our digital twin that we cooperate with Bremen municipality, as I mentioned, and we will digitally complete the twin of Konak at the end of this year, I guess. Here's some other examples.
So my question for you, that's
Yeah.
why you are interested in MedFest and big events,
Yeah.
because you feel yourself that you're ready to promote and to make it possible that thousands of extra tourism can arrive accordingly with these huge events.
Yeah.
I know that you are still participating to the next bid of the Futuro Universal Exposition. I wish you luck. I'm sorry that you
Yeah.
lost with Milano. I was part of it, but I know.
Yeah, we
So,
took it.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to you in a
Okay.
short while. I want to leave the stage now to Gino Domenici. Welcome to be here with us. That is CEO of Altus and a representative of the government of tourism in Mexico. He worked in a very good way with us during the period of Expo 2020, where his role was really deep and focused on digitalization. How did you face the new digitalization, especially of such a big country like Mexico that has millions of tourists and goes in the world through this? What is the kind of digitalization and sustainability you are proposing to the world? Use mine, don't worry.
Okay. Well, the last 5 years, as you know, I learned from the best, which is Dubai. Habibi, come to Dubai. Dubai is marketing. Dubai is a digital marketing. But what is behind the digital marketing in Dubai is the research. They want to research what's happening and the tendencies, global tendencies for tourists. What is we do right now, before to do the next step in Mexico, is we start to do research what's happening in America, which is or more focused on tourists. Of course, North America and Canada, they are bigger tourists to Mexico. And do you know what is the next tendency in Mexico, in America for tourists? Who knows what is the next tendency? Pets. People from North America start to traveling with pets. And Mexico discovered that. In Mexico right now, we're working on the protocols to do a pet-friendly sign for restaurants, hotels, and places in Mexico, because we discover right now this is, but this is behind, we need to do a lot of work, digital work and physical work, because we need to do the protocols to show what do you do in case of emergency, what do you do in the hotel. It's not only say, put the plate and say we are pet friendly. That's just need to do protocols. In that case, we're working right now, do the research before to do all the rest in this innovation in digital marketing. We're ready to launch next year Mexico as a pet-friendly country.
That's great. Thank you very much, Gino. And this gave me the chance to talk immediately with Maria Curie, that is a representative of a large number of tour operators and travel agents in North America, as Mr. Gino was telling to us. So I have a sharp question to you. Maria, how do you see innovation and digital connection contributing the promotion of destinations and creating stronger links between local communities and international travels? I wanted to write it down, this question, and because I know that you are very focused and sharp, and you are of course, an institution for the North American people. We have a chance to know each other since many years. We met in New York as well a few months ago, and next month as well. But it will be really good to share with the people which is the feeling and how the world of, and accordingly to the digitalization and sustainability change in the segment of travel.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. Creo que en inglés o en español. Voy a hablar inglés.
Inglés.
Inglés, perfecto. Thank you to Vicencio, thank you to Alexandro. Had a wonderful time meeting you all in New York. And I think your presentations are terrific. Of course, Gino and I, we were there in Dubai. I had a pretty large group that was very interested in the things that we can do. Look, at the end of the day, I know that everyone is into this AI business. AI has been around since 1950. Did it overtake the world? No, it didn't. Will it overtake your business and what you do? No, it won't. What we need to understand is that it's a bridge, right? It's a great bridge. Today, people want the fast reliability of what AI can offer. But can it offer the touch of the human nature that we give as travel advisors? No, it can't. And so the important thing here is to understand, yes, sustainability. 60% of the entire world is focused on hotels that are sustainable, that travel, eco-travel. If you look at Costa Rica, they're big because of their forestry. But there's so many countries programs that you look at that are in need. Mine in particular. There's a great video, I don't know if it can be played, but I handed it over. It's not speaking about what you can do. You yourselves look at your client base. Who do you negotiate with? Who do you have a relationship with? We do a lot of business with Delta Vacations. And at the table, we had just a conversation about the destinations that we heavily know and sell. And one of them was my hometown. What better way to start with where you are? And look, when I speak to you, I speak from the heart. I don't prepare things. I think that I look at the audience and I feel, what is it that you want to hear based on the experiences that you want to take back? And what we did was brainstorm, what can we do in Puerto Plata, my hometown that I know, with chambers of commerce, with not-for-profits that are very involved in the eco-friendliness of the communities, and obviously with a population that ingrown a lot of issues, mostly poverty. We started with cleaning a beach. Now, if you look at this beach, you look at Royal Caribbean cruise ship, right smack in the middle, overlooking the garbage, the dirt, the immense amount of garbage. But where is the garbage coming from? The communities don't have a place where to put it. It starts with the education. So I look to my counterparts, chambers of commerce. I'm like, well, what is it that you're doing in the business? What are you contributing to make sure that the community understands where they can go, where they can take the garbage, and why this is not acceptable? Not in today's world, it is not acceptable. And we brought these students from other countries, like we brought students that came from Venezuela, they volunteered. We had students that came from Atlanta that volunteered, these college students. And then I had an assistant. The assistant was 5 years old. And I had a little gadget, to pick up the garbage. And he said, let me teach you how to use it. And I'm like, you think you can do this better than me? He says, well, I'm gonna hold on to it. And it's because he wanted it. He wanted to own it now that he saw the power of the little gadget. And I said, well, do you live nearby? How does it make you feel that we're picking up this garbage? He says, well, I was hoping that you would help my community clean up that beach. And I'm like, you're not in this community, why are you here? He says, because I heard that you're gonna serve pizza. And that may be my only meal of the day. And then you see these young little girls dressed in their Sunday's best. And I'm like, this is interesting. This was an event in the town.
It is.
Cleaning up, rolling up your sleeves, and the simple task of cleaning that beach was overwhelming. It made, of course, all the news. There's a big video, and we're started the Dominican American Distinguished Awards, and I'm so proud to know that this link between corporate, and we know how big Delta and Delta Vacations are, corporate helping a local community-based Comunidad Connect is the name of the organization. They're in Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Atlanta, putting these ideas into the hands of people. Do not let the language scare you. Sustainability. It is no more and no less than you looking at your communities the ecological way and what we all need to contribute, right? We know what we need to contribute. Let's start there. And then when you think of technology, is technology gonna take over our businesses? It can't, because it doesn't have what we have. 1950s, scientists wanted. They knew that they can do this. They knew that they can have machines that can think quickly. But what they can never replicate is what you can do. You are the bridge, and you're the ones that stands behind it.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. We will go back to you.
Thank you very much.
So I want to ask to the Vice President of Mobi a sharp question about mobility and so forth. So from Mobi's perspective, how can innovation in mobility and transport services enhance the promotion and destination support in a more authentic and sustainable travel experience? Please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting me here today. It's very interesting to be here in Olbia, which is actually our home port for the Mobi ferries that connect Italy with the major islands of the Mediterranean. And it's very interesting to hear people talk about their destinations in such a passionate way. It's very linked to the sustainability, and I will arrive there just a few moments. But as Mediterranean countries, we always know that most of the tourists that come to visit us
especially in summer, come because we have a beautiful sea. And you can find a beautiful sea in Turkey, as you can find a beautiful sea in Italy or in Egypt or in Greece. So when you come to talk with the people, you don't talk about that actually. You take your passion here, you talk about your cultural heritage, you talk about your food. In Italy, we talk a lot about the wine also. And you try to understand what is the difference and why there is a good reason to come to visit a country. So we are in Sardinia here today, and Sardinia is an island that suffers a lot the problem of seasonality. We come here in September, and thank you for making the event here in Olbia, because Olbia needs this kind of events, in the low season, and to bring people here to understand why the Sardinia is so special. And it's closely linked to sustainability, because over-tourism is just a damage for a destination. No destination needs over-tourism, and also as a meaning of transport as I represent here today, it's not what we really need. We don't need to have ferries overcrowded with tourists for a couple of months and then have a very low impact for all the winter season. We need to make people understand that Sardinia, as an example, is a destination that can be lived even in a better way during the autumn season or the spring
And Alessandro,
season.
how do you contribute in doing this? Do you have a loyalty program? Do you have a promotional program during the low season? Do you make any kind of offer, or you advertise and there is a contribution with the Regione Sardinia to attract people coming from the continent or subcontinent?
I would say it starts even before than that. We travel in the winter season, which we are free not to do. I mean, we could just keep the ferries, stop them for the winter season and do just the summer season, as many operators do. Also, on the plane operators, it's not just about the ferries, of course. It's a widespread problem. And you need to do, not only to travel, but to give, of course, some economical incentives to make people come in the destinations and be happy to do so. You need to work together with the tour operators, with the hotel owners that need the structures to be open, because of course if you have the hotels are open, then people can come. If the hotels are closed, people don't travel. It's very basic and easy. But sustainability is strongly related in these kind of regions that are wonderful for the tourists for a few weeks, but not for the long year. It's a great way to make the local communities grow and have something to work with, and not have just some seasonal workers coming in for a few weeks in the summer.
Sure. Thank you very much, Alessandro. I want to go back to Mr. Matteo Gatto, the architect Matteo Gatto, and I want with a sharp question about how can architecture become a driver of innovation in tourism and enhancing destination appeal without compromising the identical culture locally. So which is your focus on this? I mean, you are always in great challenge, cultural challenges, surfing from Osaka, Japan, going to Dubai, then of course Saudi Arabia, where you're working now. And I know that the project in Saudi is really about this question, because you are preserving.
Yeah, also in Belgrade now.
Correct.
So very different places. No, as an architect, I see innovation and design as a powerful tools to make destinations more attractive, while safeguarding in a way their identity and their tradition. We have to cooperate and to collaborate with people coming from each single country. We need to respect their identity, but we need also to introduce innovations, because people ask innovation, technologies. I think also in terms of sustainability, we are talking about a sustainable path here. New technologies can help also to manage the flows, because we are challenged. We have a dual challenge now in tourism, growing demand and the need to be sustainable.
Matteo, sharp question. You worked more than 20 years ago. You started to work for Milano 2015. I guess that 10 years before you start your project to be ready for 2015. Which is the main difference that you are experiencing in between working for Milano, that was a very great innovating universal exposition, and today your commitment for Expo Dubai 2030? In lapse time of 30 or 20 years, which are the main differences?
Yeah, the world is changing. Technologies are changed. The use of AI, it's really important now. We can being helped if we use wisely. by AI to give to the visitors and to the tourists different options, different answers. What is very good from AI, if we teach them the AI in the right way and you use it in the right way, is that we can provide different experience and really customized experience with really customized answer to anybody, something that was impossible before. But in terms of the difference between countries and places, every time you need to start from the scratch, studying the local culture, what they need, but knowing that mankind, in a way, are the same. So what we need is beauty, what we need is justice, what we need is, in a way, a comfortable experience. So there is some common elements in the experience that we can provide, but we need to discover, to study, to cooperate with places and the people coming from that place, the original local people, to understand better how to convey the right messages of each single place to all the general visitors.
Thank you, Matteo. I want to go back to Marco with 3P. How do you think that, in your experience, how can public and private partnership can cooperate together and leverage the digital tools to better enhance tourism and to better provide as well a change of the local community with a full act of sustainability and looking to the future?
Sì, allora la chiave del partenariato pubblico-privato, cioè di mettere insieme gli attori pubblici istituzionali con gli operatori privati, è proprio quella di mettere insieme, dicevo anche prima, un equilibrio che è dato dal fatto che l'attore istituzionale riesce a dare il meglio della sua azione, che è quello della come dire, prospettiva, no? Dell'orientamento e del controllo pubblico, mentre il privato mette l'investimento e l'innovazione. Questo dà una svolta a quello che può essere l'esigenza anche di andare a valorizzare, lo si diceva prima, alcune peculiarità di natura turistica, okay? Che soprattutto magari sono nascoste, perché poi il turismo oggi non vuole stare nel mainstream, no? Vuole cercare qualche cosa che sia nascosto, peculiare, da poter insomma scoprire, no? Però questo di per sé, per sua natura, è qualcosa che deve essere quindi andato a cercare, deve essere, insomma, deve trovare la giusta scalabilità, cosa che il partenariato pubblico e privato riesce a trovare nella misura in cui trova l'equilibrio appunto tra gli elementi istituzionali e gli elementi privati. C'è anche una chiave che viene come dire, a emergere da questo connubio, che è quello dell'equità, che in qualche modo ci dà proprio un valore aggiunto, perché nell'insieme di pubblico e privato il privato è chiamato ad andare a investire anche su quelli che sono elementi che nel libero mercato non troverebbero un'offerta, no? Penso alle piccole imprese, penso lato pubblico a piccoli paesi che hanno delle preziosità nascoste, ok? Nell'insieme di pubblico e privato si va a scovare questi elementi e li si mettono in rilievo, proprio perché, come dire, l'autorità pubblica di per sé deve garantire a tutti l'accesso, no? E chiama in questo senso il privato ad andare a scoprire e a investire su qualcosa che poi ci dà quel valore che altrimenti andrebbe perso, perché non nel mainstream del turismo.
Grazie, grazie. I want to go back to Murat, and I wanted to ask you, Murat, in your view, how can innovation and culture of tourism serve as a bridge, in this case, between Turkey and Italy? As you are a representative of Italy in Turkey, but of course you are Turkish by origin and you are very linked to Italy. And what the future challenges and opportunities do you see in let's say, having a strengthened connection with Italy or with all the Mediterranean? How do you see this all?
Well, actually, two countries are very similar countries, especially if you talk about the Mediterranean. And when you go to the South Italy, I go so often. My cousin lives in Puglia, Bari, and after you, I will go there to visit I feel the people there, some are from the Konak city or Izmir or somewhere else. You see this hot blood this way, and the gastronomy is very similar. The lifestyles are very similar. We are drinking wine also, don't worry about it. You are fine to do this. And this makes this bridge. The people are similar, and they have the same ideas, same warm ideas, like to stay in the peaceful part. And they love each other. I believe this, the people are loving each other. And this way, the bridges are making so easily. This bridge is making with the transportation. Transportation is very important. And the direct flights to Izmir, to Istanbul, and with the new airport of Istanbul as a hub, many Italians are using this hub. And they stay in Istanbul. And with the company name, can I give the company name? Like Sun Express in Izmir is a hub. And they have a lot of direct flights.
Sure.
If we have the more slots, they can have now the Sun Express group has Milan, Venice. Now they want to open the Bologna, and they have a Roma already, and they want to open in Bologna and Bari. Sure. If they will have these opportunities. This will give us the more build the bridges, and this is very important. And for the other countries also, but especially for Italy, it's very important. And we would like to come to Olbia with not over tourism, but we want to come to there. And it was a very important word. Also, I want to take the over tourism is the let's say not enemy, but not the rival of the sustainability. Because we have to talk about the cultural tourism to keep the sustainability for the future. Maria said something, I think is the keyword of the panel is education. If you want to have a sustainable tourism, we have to make an education system. We have to update our education systems. I want to say one word from Kemal Atatürk, the founder and the eternal leader of our country. The ignorance is the giant enemy that we have to fight. If we fight this, we can have the sustainable future. And we can do many things. The friends are doing better than us.
I fully agree with you.
VR, like that. They can give a lot of applications, a lot of things, but education is the most important
Education
thing.
is the key, and what Maria was giving us as an example before is clearly standing about this. I want just to finish up with a
Just
small...
a little word, then I can
Yeah?
finish. Just it will be. Today is the World Tourism Day. I want to celebrate to everyone World Tourism Day, and I want to say this: tourism is going with the peace. Without peace, we can't do anything. The peace is very important also for MedFest, for the Mediterranean, because we have a lot of cruise ships, but we can't use the East Mediterranean areas. This is not something nice. Some people cannot come from United States, especially with the cruise ships. If we want a sustainable tourism, we have to stop all the wars in the world.
Let's hope. And this is our aim, of course.
Thank
I want to have a small question, that afterwards we have international press that is asking us for some questions. You're going to wait and we give you the start. No, not now. I give you the start. I want to ask to Gino, what are you carrying back from this MedFest experience? What are you bringing back to your company and, of course, to share with your board and tourism? What is giving you this opportunity of MedFest to understand, and what are the glimpses that you are bringing back?
The opportunity to know new destination, number one, different way to do tourism, because I see right now Olbia is a different place. That's I expecting some kind of tourists here, which is totally different. And this we need to learn what they do with this kind of thing. We are do something similar in Mexico, like we call magic towns. Magic towns, a lot of towns, we are ready procuring Mexico to be the best places to visit. And here this destination can be something like that. What we can learn is important to transfer this knowledge for us, for our tourist system. And as Maria said, the more important for the customers.
Sure.
At the end, behind all this technology, all this innovation, is the customer, is the more important behind the tourists.
Thank you, Gino. What about you, Maria? What are you bringing back from this experience that I know that you started already 1 month ago to publish something about MedFest in the United States, so I'm very curious to know what will be your message once you are back.
Well, we said to the world, as far as I'm concerned, my world has its boundaries, but it's the world now with technology, obviously. And we introduced MedFest, right, as the destination that we really want to focus on because it is focusing on sustainability. But mostly here, with the audience that I see, is the people. You know, you allowed an opportunity to a very diverse group of individuals here, which really impressed me. And it wasn't, you know, that kind of festival that you go to where there's so much that overwhelms you. So I like the idea of having a very select group of individuals with a small timeline that allows you the ability to really understand what they have and focus on what your needs are going to be. So we promised, as you can see from some of the videos that I sent you on our media, that we were going to come back with what the results were. And everyone trusts that we're very honest and transparent. And I'm so glad to report that it was all very, very positive, right? Feedback is important. You'll get that, right? Because it only helps you grow. But I hope to be here next year again.
Of course you will. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
to
much.
everyone here.
So we have here someone from the international press that wants to make a question. To whom you want to address your question?
Yes, can I speak in Italian?
Faccia la domanda in italiano, lei la traduco.
Vabbè, la domanda è che prima io sono della National News Agency, un'agenzia che distribuisce in tutti i paesi
Sì.
arabi notizie. La mia domanda è che noi popoli del Mediterraneo ci conosciamo molto bene anche da migliaia di anni. Il problema oggi sono i spostamenti. Da quando è stato introdotto visto Schengen è quasi impossibile che i cittadini possano venire in Europa a fare vacanza, mentre gli europei possono andare nei nostri paesi senza visto, senza
Certo.
niente. Allora, cosa farete per facilitare? Anche c'è gente molto ricca che veniva in Sardegna e ora non viene più, vanno in Turchia perché la Turchia facilita. Grazie.
Certo. If you want to, I think that every one of you understand the question. The problem is actually for the visa, so we have an exponent of the Italian diplomacy community. But if you allow me, Consul, I can reply because I'm very prepared about this topic. About this topic is very easy. Italy, like all Europe, is living a moment of overwhelming tourism, and especially of people that unfortunately look forward to illegal immigration, which is something that they should control. Despite this, we don't have any kind of problem to give visa to people that can afford the travel and can travel to our coast, and we are very glad to have such a beautiful people that is coming to us, but either people that wants to approach without a large amount of money, but they can grant us that are coming for tourism. The real problem is simple as it is. We don't have any kind of resources of people giving visas. I want to take an example of Turkey, for instance. We have thousands of waiting passports that are waiting for the visa. Just a few days ago, Marie Curie can be present. The assistant of Marie Curie, that she comes from Dominican Republic, was in line in our... and she is living in the US. She went to our consul general, signed up the letter of invitation and everything, but she couldn't get the visa because there are not enough staff and persons that are delivering it. So I want just to say to all of you, because we are coming from all over the world, as Maria, she said, we do have more than 25 nationalities. We are trying, as Italian state, to do our best effort to place much more resources. I agree with you that we are losing a lot of parcels of tourism and even a lot of rich people that easily go to other countries and not to Italy, and we're working on it. So we have the full diplomacy, and in the previous panel there was another ambassador of the Italian Republic that was talking about this. Thank you for your question. So I want to say hello to every one of you. I don't want to bother you more than this. I appreciated the word of each of you. Thank you very much for each of you. Hope to see you soon, wherever it will be in the Mediterranean next year with the MedFest. And thank you very much to all of you, and ready to go for lunch. Thank you.
She got the visa to come today.
She got it